America's economy is growing at an annual rate of just 1% this year, and the economic recovery has been the weakest since 1949. One cause for that weakness has been the heavy burden of regulations that President Obama has piled on businesses. The latest rules target all kinds of businesses, and they drive up prices for people like you at home as well. Abigail Robertson brings us the story now from Washington.
During his 8 years in office, President Obama has pushed out an unprecedented number of regulations, around 20,000 new restrictions that by some estimates end up costing taxpayers about $100 billion each year.
All these new rules and mandates and restrictions are coming in on virtually every sector of the economy.
Regulations begin in places like the Environmental Protection Agency, where government officials develop rules for specific corporations to follow.
They develop detailed rules, very often on going to lengths that Congress never would have intended. There's a process for public comment and notice, and then they release the rule.
When complete, a regulation is published in the Federal Register and goes into effect. Obama's regulations target a wide range of industries, and even though the costs are directly imposed on the businesses, consumers ultimately pay when companies change their products and raise their prices to comply with the new regulations. James Gattuso of the Heritage Foundation says the EPA's Clean Power Plan is the most expensive of Obama's recent wave. It's a plan designed to regulate greenhouse gas emissions, and Gattuso believes it will cause more problems than it fixes.
It will drive coal production plants, electricity plants, power plants out of business, and will have almost no effect on global warming. So it will fail in its goals and impose costs on Americans.
And the financial burden isn't the only thing Americans should worry about.
A lot of regulations have no monetary cost that can be measured, but are equally or more problematic. I'm thinking of the Obamacare regulations that limit our religious liberty. I'm thinking of FCC regulations that limit free speech.
One solution would bring Congress into the process.
I think that a reform of the system that would make sense would be to require Congress to approve these regulations before they take effect. In that way, Congress is accountable for those regulations, and Congress has improved oversight over what's happening out there before the consumers have to pay.
Although Obama's number of regulations stands out, Gattuso says the uptick started under George W. Bush. He says that until a commitment is made to stop this rising tide, it will continue no matter who is president. President Obama's remaining months in the White House could be his busiest yet, with more than 2,000 proposed or final rules in the works before he leaves office. Reporting from the White House, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.